We'll start with Springerlink just now. And if I can get the There seems to be a bit of trouble with my microphone, so I'm hoping that you can hear me. If you can hear me, would someone add something into the chat? Good. So we'll start on Springerlink. Hopefully I can get these slides to change. Here we go. So the link for Springerlink is link.springer.com. This has changed a couple of years ago from Springerlink, but you should also have a link via your library that will take you straight to the Springerlink platform. When Springerlink was originally redesigned a few years ago, it was really designed with the user in mind, the idea to make it as easy as possible for you to find what you need and to use the content as quickly and as easily as possible. So there's things like an auto-suggest in the search box, and there's a preview of each document on every page that I'll show you shortly as well. And you can also refine your search to only the documents that your library has access to. There's also links to improve the HTML, and the viewing as such is made much easier for you now as you go from the page to page and look at the different articles contained on Springerlink. The platform is also designed to be available on desktop, tablet, phone, either on a horizontal phone or a vertical phone, and the platform has got a web responsive design such that it provides optimal viewing on all devices. It will shift and adjust based on what screen size you're using, and the most important things will remain on the screen, and things like the white space or images will start to fall off as you go to a smaller screen. The search box is always available by looking at this little magnifying glass that you see next to the search box. And even if you're on a phone, you will see a magnifying glass that would then take you to the search option. So let's take a look at the main home page of Springerlink. You'll see at the top of every page on Springerlink an option to do the searching. So the search functionality is quite important, obviously, as you're doing your research, and you'll see this again at the top of every screen with the little wheel next to the search box showing you where you can find your search help options or the advanced search options. In the top section, you'll also see the logo of your institution if the administrator has added this, indicating that your institution has paid for the content that you're accessing. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the option to browse by discipline, and this is the broad range of disciplines covered by Springerlink. As you click on these various disciplines, you'll also see the option to narrow this down to a smaller, more specific selection of disciplines that you can review and browse through. The center section of the screen, you see the option to either browse the various content types, journals, books, book series, protocols, or reference works, and you'll see a section of highlighted content that is the recent activity of people within your institution. If you access Springerlink from outside of your institution, this is just anonymous feeds that's across all of Springerlink and doesn't necessarily reflect your own usage, but it reflects usage of the whole world who's using Springerlink. However, if you're within your institution or if you've logged into Springerlink with your user data, you will see content here that's been specifically accessed by your institution. So in the content area, just below the top main sentence, you see some highlighted books and journals. You'll notice if you are outside of an institution or you're not logged in, the color will be orange. If you are logged in or within your institution's IP range, the color in this area will then be purple. The reason to do this is also to help with any troubleshooting, to know whether you're in a registered institution or not, or if you're in as a registered user. So if you're wondering if you have access to your institution's contents that they've licensed for you and you don't see this as being purple, that's one thing to indicate that you're not working within the proper IP range. So in order to become a recognized user over an anonymous user, you will automatically be recognized within the IP ranges of your institution. Or you can click on the Sign Up Login option at the top of the page, in the top right corner, and create your own account. If you do this within your institution's IP range, you will also have remote access when you go to work from a different location, even if you're off site from your institution. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So here you see the Sign Up button, top right-hand corner. Clicking this will take you into the option where you can either log in directly or via Shibboleth or Athens, or with a corporate account if you're logging in from a corporation. If you're not registered, you can also use this option to create a new account. And your Springer account will be valid both on Springerlink and on Springer.com. I see there's one question here: is there a difference between Springer and Springerlink? They are both from Springer, but the Springer.com site provides the general marketing information about the content provided from Springer, and the content on Springerlink is actually the books and journals, articles, protocols, and reference works that you will be using with your research. So one provides you general information about the publication, and Springerlink provides you the actual content. But logging into one site will allow you to log into both sites directly. We have a single sign-on for that. So I hope that answers your question. If not, please feel free to type again. So one is Springer.com and one is link.springer.com, and this is constantly in development, so keep an eye on the site, and then we'll see when these sites change and merge, especially with the merger of Springer and Nature. So as I mentioned, you will see this as an anonymous user. You will see in the activity box just the anonymous recent overall downloads of Springerlink. Once you become a recognized institutional user, or if you are within your institution's IP range, you'll see the recent activity from your institution. Again, in the top right corner, this is where you'll see the logo. In my case, I just show Springer because I'm recognized as a Springer user, and the Springerlink admin can change this from the admin dashboard. A little bit more specific on the search functionality. As I mentioned, the top of every page has a search box, and also the little wheel next to the search box that provides the advanced search options and search help. If you click on the advanced search option, it will take you to a little bit more options that you can fill in to narrow down your search further, whether that is with all of the words, within these words, within an exact phrase, so on and so forth. And at the bottom, you'll see the option to include preview-only content. And what this means is that you could limit your search to only content that your institution has access to. Otherwise, if you include it by having this box ticked, it will look across everything within Springerlink, even things that the institution doesn't have license access to. I see a question about how to get published by Springer, and that's actually something that I might need to answer via email for you because there's a number of options to do that. I will just say quickly that the fastest way to find out the information on that is to go to the author page on Springer.com, springer.com/authors. And there's instructions there on how to become a Springer author, as well as videos and an online author workshop that you can participate in. So moving on with Springerlink, if you look at the browse functionality, as I mentioned, there's a number of disciplines on the left-hand side that you can review. You can also look at the journals, articles, books, protocols, reference works included. There's actually some 9.2 million documents included on Springerlink right now, so there's a number of things that you can go through and review there. Looking at the search results page, you can see to the right of your search results, you will see the articles and journals listed, and this can be a book. It will be indicated a book, an article, so on and so forth, based on what your search was. Then you can click directly to download the PDF or view the HTML. And again, you will always maintain this option to include preview content only or not. On the search results page, if you have included preview only content, you will only see the first part of the abstract, and that part will be included in yellow. So if you want to have those search results removed from your search option, then you should just unclick that button and all of the yellow highlighted options will be taken out. Further to the question about getting published in the Springer Journal, I hope I'm answering your question correctly. I always find it difficult when I'm just trying to follow the chat, but specifically to get published in the Springer Journal, there's different requirements and of course the peer review process that happens. And again, there's more information on the Springer.com authors pages. Okay, one moment. Having slight technical difficulty here, sorry. On the search results page, again, you see the type of content listed at the top of each section, whether it's an article, a book chapter, protocol, reference work that will be listed there. Then you'll see the title of the article that you're looking at, a short description, author list, and then the option to download the PDF or view the article straight away. You will also see, as I said, like the type of content. You'll see a larger if it's just a journal or a book that should come back within your search results. That will also be highlighted at the top of the search section, or it will go specifically down into the smaller units of chapter, protocol, and article. So you can have some filters on the left-hand side that you'll see. This will allow you to choose the specific content type, the discipline if you wanted to narrow it down by a larger discipline. You'll see a number of sub-disciplines, where it was published, the author, the language, and so on. Clicking on each one of these will give you additional options to further filter your search. So there's many visual things on the search option that will allow you to do a search and to narrow it down further. All of the search results are provided in order of publication, so the most recent article or journal will come up on the top of the page. If you're looking for publication within a specific section, you will see show documents published between, and you can select this date published field to select the specific years that you want to look in for publication. If you have a set of search results that you want to download, you can have this as a downloaded list. It will provide the search results to you as a CSV file, and then you can store that in your, with the rest of your research and in your research management systems. You can also subscribe to an Rss feed for the search, and this will provide you alerts when there's a change to the RSS feed that you subscribe to. So looking at the product pages, we'll look briefly at what a journal product page looks like, what book reference works protocol. And hopefully by that time my colleague will have his microphone fixed because we have some issues, as I said there. At the top of each product page you'll see this blue bar that also maintains the search within functionality. It will always be visible as you scroll down. It allows you to either browse through the volumes issues of the book or download the article or get access. So when looking at the various articles, you can see whether a journal article is open access straight away by this yellow option that you'll see on the top. Orange option that you see that's above the journal image or above the article itself that indicates that it's open access. And this will tell you that you have open access to this article across whether it's an article or chapter, search results page, or the journal book homepage. So looking at the specific journal homepage, you can see at the top where you can browse the volumes and issues. There's an option to search within the journal. There's a journal title. You'll see the journal ISSN, a short description of the specific journal, and then you will see options to browse through the various volumes issues if you're looking for a specific volume or a specific issue. Below this, the list of latest articles is noted, and these are just the most recently published. Some are not assigned to a volume or an issue yet, and those are called online first articles, which you'll see at the very top. Looking at the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the Look Inside option, and when you mouse over the image of the journal, it will take you to the Look Inside, which will show you the first 2 pages of the journal article or a set amount of content that's available to you. If you have access to the journal through your institution, you can browse through the whole thing at that time. You can also look just below there, you'll see Other Actions, which is where you can register for journal updates to the specific journal, and you see this About This Journal link. Clicking on About This Journal will take you to Springer.com, and will take you to a specific page about this journal where you can also find information about submitting or how to have your article reviewed by this specific journal. I see a question here about how to download the slides or if it can be sent to you. I will make this available via SDL for you to have access to. There's also information on springer.com/training that will provide you with options to download the slides and other videos. So as I mentioned, there's also the option to search within this journal, where you can find relevant articles specific to the journal, specific to your search terms, and they will just be maintained within the search of Springerlink. The results will be displayed in the search results list and will take you out of this environment that you're in right now, looking at the journal homepage, but you will see at the top that you're searching only within the journal that you were looking at, and it will highlight the search term that you had input. Going back to the journal homepage, you again mentioned the option to browse the volumes or issues. This is at the top bar, or further down the page where you see the specific boxes where you can input a number for the journal that you're looking for, the issue that you're looking for. You also have the option to view all open access articles, so if you want to see which ones are available, you can click there and you'll see the open access articles available specifically for this journal. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the journal homepage. As you scroll down, you'll see the links that will take you to the most recent content. This is at the top of the page, and in the flaps below, you'll see the different articles contained in each volume and issue. And as I mentioned before, the Online First tab will take you to the latest articles that have not been assigned to an issue yet, but that have been published. At the bottom of the page, there's an About This Journal section that gives you the bibliographic information as well as additional links to sign up for a table of contents, registration, information about manuscript submission, editorial board information, and again this link to more information about the journal that is on the Springer.com page. You'll also see some links called topics, and these are topical collections related to this specific journal. So it could take you outside to another list of journals available, or books that are available in the same subject area. Next, we'll take a look at the journal article functionality and overview. And this is actually quite a lengthy page of information once you actually get in and start looking at the actual journal article. You can see at the very top you have two options to access the journal content. This is either downloading the PDF or viewing the article in HTML. Then as you look down the page, you'll see the information about the specific journal article that you're looking at, the title, the abstract, the various content that's related, and other options specific to this journal and journal article. You may tend to see the Look Inside feature on the right-hand side that shows you either the first two pages or allows you to scroll through the content of the article. And below this, you see the article metrics option. This is something that's been recently added to Springerlink that shows you the number of citations, the number of social shares, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. It'll show this here. And then you see other options to export the citations, to, again, register for the journal updates, find out more information, or ask about reprints. We'll talk about exporting citations in just a little bit. So at the top you'll see this, there's a difference to either download the PDF, you have two options there, and then again view article to see that in HTML. As you scroll down the page, this blue bar at the very top will remain visible, always allowing you the opportunity to download very quickly. Of course, if you want to download the PDF, you can save this directly to your own system, and you can print, mark, and file it as you would like. The Look Inside option allows you to have a PDF preview without any further functionality of being able to download it. So you would just be able to view on the screen. If you click the View Article, you get the HTML. And you'll see the same functionality, just a more attractive way to look at your article on the screen. The title, the journal, and the author information is always prominently at the top of the page to help you remember exactly which one you're looking at, what article it is. And as you scroll down to within this article, you'll see the article abstract, article metrics, and again this other actions option that you see continually throughout Springerlink. If you click on the link to export the citation, it will offer you the citation without the abstract, and you can download it in any one of the following formats: ProCite, Reference Manager, RefWorks, EndNote, PubMed, a text-only file, or BibText. Springerlink has worked to include the majority of the citation managers, so I trust that you'll find an option here that will work with the system that you're using. Springer has recently partnered with a company called Untitled to help work and create this related content functionality. And what this does is it semantically maps the text from actually the content of the text. It has an algorithm in the back that goes and maps concepts and terminologies in text, and it will bring that together in an overview to show you what other concepts could possibly be related to the article that you're searching in. So if you go to look at a journal article and you see this related content tab, it will take you to keywords, concepts that are related to this article. You can also open what's called a relationship map, and this provides you with a visual explanation of how the various concepts work together. So if when you have this PowerPoint, you can actually click on this link and it will take you to one of these relationship maps, and you can use your mouse to scroll through the different concepts and see how each one of the various keywords links from one thing to another, and it will show you the articles related to that on the right hand side, and you can click directly there to search further. If there's supplementary material, this could be additional PDF or video information that would be related to your journal article or included in your journal article. It will show below, and you can click on it based on the link that's included under the tab Supplementary Information. As you would expect, you can also find a list of references at the bottom of each article, the list of literature that the author has used to write the article, and most of these references are linked to their original source via cross-ref. So as much as possible, we've mapped things to the other articles included such that you can continue your research on, even on another site as needed. At the bottom, again, similar to the journal homepage, on the journal article page, you find about this article. And this shows you the bibliographic information, any additional links that would be available to you, provides you with a list of related topics or related industry sectors. If you're coming from a corporation, it might be of interest to you to work with other titles or other articles within a specific industry sector, and you can see that there as well. You'll also find the author information, their affiliations, and links to contact them if that information is available to Springer. So let's take a short look at the book functionality. And typically I would pass this off to my colleague Wouter at this point, but he's having issues with his microphone, so I will keep on going. I have one question here. Most of the research in this journal is biological medical research. That's correct for the example that I was showing you. However, Springerlink does cover a vast number of topics, and there's some 2,000 journals on there that cover an extreme number of topics from all sets. So if you look at the Browse Discipline section on the left-hand side, you'll see the different topics that are listed there. If there's an impact factor listed for a journal, that will also be noted on the journal homepage. On the screen that I show you, I'll just switch back really quick to point out where that is. If there's a journal impact factor, it shows just below the journal cover in that section that's called article metrics or journal metrics. So in this case, this title doesn't have an impact factor, but if it were to have one, it would be listed there below. Another question also about downloading the whole book or in a single PDF file. Yes, that is possible, and I will explain that further as we look at the book homepage. So moving on to talk about books, you'll see the option again at the top in the blue bar to search within the book. You'll note the publication year, the book title, the bibliographic information, and here in the middle of the page you see the option to download the full book. In some cases there's also an option to download this as an EPUB file, but the majority of the books on Springerlink are available as PDF. We're trying to do as many as possible within the EPUB formatting, but this will only go back to a certain level of data quality, meaning that we can't provide EPUB files for every single title on Springerlink because some of the XML is not available that allows us to create the EPUB. So EPUB files will be created as much as possible. You also see then below a table of contents with the various book chapters listed, and on the right-hand side below the book cover and the look inside option you see something called book metrics. And book metrics will show you the different metrics on and mentions in social media. It will show you how many times the book has been downloaded or the chapter has been downloaded. And if your institution has allowed for My Copy to be available, you'll see the option to purchase a My Copy book. This is a title that is allowed only for your personal use and cannot be put into the library, but if you wanted to have a title printed out just for your own personal use, you will see this option there. This is not always available, so forgive me if it doesn't show up on the page that you're looking at specifically, and you can check with your librarian further about that. If you don't have access to the book, you'll see this light yellow section, and it will tell you that you can get access, you can have a free preview to a short amount of text, and otherwise you could purchase an individual copy of this for your own use. But this is all going to be indicated with this light yellow color, and your librarian can help you out if you don't have access. A question about the difference between a PDF and an EPUB. A PDF is the strict formatted document that works with pretty well any system. An EPUB format will allow you to make use of the ebook in your ebook reader software, and will allow you to have the text flow automatically from one page to the next without having the pagination change. So it's a standard file. EPUB is a standard file format that's used on various mobile devices and such to make it easier to read the content on a mobile device. But for the most part, it's just as easy to use on as an PDF file. All right, further looking at the book homepage, again you see the same kind of things like we saw with the journal homepages. At the bottom you see the bibliographic information, additional links to similar topics, industry sectors, and then within the ebooks you'll see the option to see the full ebook package, and in this case this title is included in an ebook package, the English full collection, and this is also in the engineering collection. If you were to click on the link there at the bottom that says ebook package English engineering, it would take you to the list of all titles included in this collection. Looking at the specific chapter functionality, again, you'll see specifically on the chapter that you could download the full book as a PDF, or you can download the chapter as a PDF. It will show this at the top of the page and continue to show this on the screen as you scroll down, or in these buttons in the middle of the page as well. Each chapter will have a short abstract explaining what's in the title, and on the right-hand side, again under the look inside image, you'll see the chapter metrics that list the citations and the number of downloads and so on and so forth. This information is all still provided by book metrics, which we'll get to later on in the presentation and explain exactly what this is. Further at the bottom of the page, you again see the references listing and the section about this chapter. Otherwise, the structure of the pages remains the same as for the journal articles. So when you go and look at Springerlink, you don't see a difference in functionality whether you're looking at an article, a book chapter, protocol, or a reference work. The pages look primarily the same across the board. I'm hoping that Wouter has got his mic fixed.
I should have.
And can take over shortly. Excellent. Then, Wouter, I'm going to leave the next sections to you to talk further about the reference works and the protocols, as well as further details about the books.
Thanks very much, Angie. So we're continuing with reference work homepage and reference works entries. So as you can see, there's a very similar look and feel between the different products. This is the reference work homepage. This includes on the top right a search box to search within a reference work, which are generally far larger titles, so you can easily search to the entry that you were looking for. On the page itself, on the top, it shows you in a blink the publication year, the title of the book, and basically the graphic information like the editors and the ISBNs. Then further down, there's a table of contents that basically is an A to Z listing of all the entries within the reference work. Similar to books, there's also reference work metrics, which are listed below the image cover. We'll get back to that later on. And then at the bottom of the page, there is more detailed information, bibliographic information about the reference work that include the topics and DOI, copyright year, the different ISBNs and editors, all in this, but the main content is always on top. So if you want to search within a particular reference work, you can use the search box on the top right, and when you enter any keyword in there, it will give you the result on the next page that is matching your search string. Within the body of the page, you can browse all the different entries, the A to Z listing of all contents, and just see all the information that is there, where you can see for each entry who the author is, the title of the entry, and you can directly download the PDF of that particular entry there. So when you go into a particular reference work entry, there again you can download the PDF of that entry, and at the body of the page you will see the HTML version of that particular entry. Other functionality is that you can export the citations and see more information about the reference work. Add this to Papers app and share over social media like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. For book series, you can start at the book series homepage and then browse through to the individual volumes within the series and see the search results of your search within a particular series. So when you get to one of our over 900 book series homepages, you can you have three major options from the page itself. Browse the volumes on the top left in the blue bar. Search within the series by keyword. You can also browse again at the bottom of the page after the description of the series. When you click one of these two options to browse the content, you will see all the books that belong to this particular book series. And at the top, you will see how many these are, which series you are looking in, and below that in the body of the text, all the individual volumes within the series. Also included on Springerlink are the Springer protocols, and Springer protocols is a separate database which is also available through springerprotocols.com. The same content is also published on Springerlink. The majority of the protocols come out of books, and that's why they have a similar look and feel as any other content on Springerlink. So when you get to the protocols homepage, you can download the entire book that contains all the protocols in that particular volume. You can download an EPUB version, and like Angie said, most recent content has an EPUB version, but it's already more than 20,000 books that have an EPUB that is most suitable for a mobile device. Then you can search within this particular book, similar to how you can search within protocol or in book series and reference works. You can also do it in protocols. And at the body of the page, you see the table of contents for this particular book, whereas each chapter is a protocol. So when we go to one of these protocols home pages, again, there's the option to download the entire book in PDF, or next to that in the blue bar at the top, download the protocol. Then there's also right above, or right below the bibliographic information, the option to download the book again in PDF, or download the protocol right below that. The abstract is immediately listed on the HTML, and when you click the cover of the book, you will get the look inside functionality where the content immediately displays on screen without any additional software needed. So you can browse through, and there you will also have the option to download the PDF of that same content. Similar to book, there's also protocol metrics that shows various data about the use of this to evaluate the value for you, this particular piece of content. You can view the protocol, and number 6, again, additional features like exporting citations, more information about the book on our catalog website, reprints and permissions, and add this title to your papers app. And finally, you can share this information on through social media, and more information is listed even below, such as supplementary material, all the references, and the information about this protocol. Now we go a bit deeper into the Springer ebooks. So next to journals, ebooks is the largest product hosted on Springerlink, and we nearly have 200,000 ebook titles available on Springerlink. And Springer is the largest ebook publisher in STM, as well as in humanities and social sciences. These are the number of books published by both us as well as our competitors, and by the Springer Nature merger, we are adding also over 2,000 books by Palgrave Macmillan to Springerlink. So by that, we are truly the largest publisher in all disciplines in science. And when we look at some usage information on Springerlink, we see that the largest user group that is using our books is students and academic researchers, as well as PhD candidates and doctoral students. So basically, this is you. So So what do we include in our ebook collections? Basically, we publish every book as an ebook. Every book that we publish is available as an ebook first, and next comes print. And we have a lot of different kinds of books. We have major reference works, we have the larger series, we have textbooks, monographs, and we publish them into subject collections. Starting in 2016, we have 20 different subject collections in English and an additional 7 subject collections in German. And all these subject collections contain all our books. So we have monographs, we have textbooks, we have series like the lecture notes, where the largest one is obviously the lecture notes in computer science. We have a large number of reference works, handbooks, and finally edited volumes, a lot of conference proceedings, and Springer briefs. By this we are adding more than 10,000 books a year, and think of that as the number of books we add to our platform every day, which is between 30 and 40 every single day that we add to Springerlink. We also have all our books back to the first book that we ever published, back to the 1840s. It's high quality content, and as has been shown in this presentation before, we publish in different formats in PDF, HTML, and EPUB, and there is no protection on our content. So that means that you can use our content, our books and our journals freely. You can download it, you can save it, you can print it out, and you can use it on your mobile device. So in 2016 we will have 20 different subject collections, which means that there are 10 subject collections in the humanities and social sciences, which you can see on the left, and on the right side the science, technology and medicine subject collections. And as you can see that all of them get a substantial amount of books. So no matter what research area you are in, there will always be something on Springerlink for you to find that matches your studies or your research. We sell our books to libraries directly, and we have flexible licensing terms. For you as a user, that means that basically every book that you see on Springerlink will never be removed. We sell on a similar way as we sell print books, so once the book is in the library, it will never be taken away by us. There is no digital rights management, so for you as a user, you can use the content on any device that you want to. And you can save it to your device, you can print it out. You can email it on to a fellow researcher, or to a colleague, or to another student. You can use it in course packs if you want to. Also, we have no restrictions on the number of simultaneous users. So basically everyone within the Saudi Digital Library can go to the same book on Springerlink at the same time and download the content. We allow for text and data mining on the content. We have APIs available. So the library can even go through the content and the metadata in a deeper level. Like I said, we allow the content to be included into course packs for all the students to use them. And it's all on Springerlink, as we have seen before. I want to summarize how you can download the content. Again, you see here the book homepage, and there are 5 different ways of basically getting the content. So number 1 is download the PDF for the full book. If you want to read the book cover to cover, you can download at the top of the page. You can also, by clicking on the cover, go to the look inside. If you want to get a quick glance at the content, see if this is what you need, you open it up, and on screen it will show you all the content of the book. And once you like it, you will have the option to immediately download either the chapter or the book PDF. In many countries, in some countries, we have the My Copy print on demand option available. which unfortunately is not available in Saudi because of geographical restrictions. We can't ship there, so I won't go into that too deep. But next to the full book PDF, we also have the EPUB available, especially for the most recent content. You will see that the vast majority of our content to download in an PDF and an EPUB version. So besides the fact that we have EPUB, which allows you to read the content on a mobile device, also our platform is mobile optimized. So on this page you see various representations of the same page on different devices. So from a desktop to a tablet to a phone horizontal, phone vertical. The website will automatically detect what kind of device you're using, and it will present the information in the most suitable way for you to use content and get to the content as fast as possible. But besides just the content, there are a number of nice features that are surrounded on our books. So first of all, it was briefly touched upon already, we have book metrics. Right below the cover of the book, you will find a number of metrics about the book that we gather from various resources. Once you click that little box there, you will be directed to the book metrics page for this particular book, and it shows you in green the number of citations such as this book has gotten. It shows you in a dark blue one the number of mentions of this title in social media, so on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, where people talk about this book. It also shows you the number of readers through Mendeley, so people who have included this book onto their personal bookshelf. It shows you the number of reviews that are included, as well as the number of downloads. And then on the left side of the screen, you will see the same information for each individual chapter. So this will give you some good metrics to analyze whether this book is suitable for you, for your search or for your research. Also, all our books are included in Author Mapper, and this the Author Mapper helps you to map the metadata of published content, both in books as well as in journals, and for instance to assess where is the most research taking place, where in the world on a specific topic. And you can just play around. This is a free tool. Just go to authormapper.com and play around, search for a particular title or a subject or a keyword, and you can easily see where the majority of authors in that particular discipline are located. Our books are highly used, and I'll go a little bit into the usage. So not only we have books in each and every discipline, on this page you will see that the average downloads by title and book on the left side by book type is about 5,000. Some books are having less, but even the Springer Briefs with 1,300 downloads on average are pretty popular. Also, these numbers are lower because the number of chapters in the briefs are by far lower. And if you then again go to the top end on handbook and major reference works, MRWs, these have a far more number of entries and chapters, so these numbers are obviously higher. And on the right side of the screen, you see the average chapter downloads by package, basically by discipline. There you can see that most of the disciplines have very, very strong usage. And then some of the less used are also disciplines where either we have a bit less books and where generally for instance in like humanities and social sciences, electronic use is generally lower. However, if it's normalized by chapters, you see that there are just a few peaks and everything is normalized with a very high number of usage. So Springer is strong in most, if not any, discipline in science. So we showed you that on Springerlink you can download the books either by chapter or by whole book. And if we look at the actual number of downloads, you see that there's about 50% of users that choose to download the whole book and want to read it cover by cover. And about half of the users just need a couple of individual chapters. So there's a nice split in that. Obviously, the number of chapter downloads is higher because for the whole book, because when somebody downloads a book of 30 chapters, it will automatically add 30 chapter downloads. So that's the bottom graph that you're seeing here. But with this feature, we are serving all users in the way of them doing their research fast. This graph might sound familiar to you, as it shows you how are you getting to Springerlink. So which source are you using to come to the content? So while about 30% of you are coming directly to Springerlink, meaning that maybe a colleague has sent you a link and you click on that and you directly come to the book. Then a large part is coming through Google, and 20% is using Google Scholar to come to our content, and 17% is just using the Google web search. Then your library website is also very important, with 16% of generating traffic to Springerlink books. And then the rest is other resources, either our catalog website, abstracting and indexing services, or just any other links that are out there on the website, on the internet. So we have about 200,000 books on Springerlink, and I want to show you here how these books are throughout the years. So after the first book that we have is from the 1800s, and but you can see here the number of books that we published in these years. About half of the books in English that we have on Springerlink is published in the last 35 years, after 1990. About 85% of the books is after 1980. So although we have a long history of books, and many researchers and students are going back to the first published work, the majority of content is really in the last 30 years, where also the amount of information in science, technology, medicine, and humanities has exploded. So when we look at usage, and this might sound familiar to you, but you would expect the most usage in disciplines with a long shelf life. However, what we noticed is that the number of downloads as well as denials in some of the less obvious disciplines, such as biomedical and life sciences, is still pretty high compared to disciplines that traditionally have long shelf life, like computer science and mathematics and statistics. So, meaning that we see a lot of usage in disciplines and all across the board in the archives. So I'd like to invite you to jumpstart your research today. Come to Springerlink. Enjoy almost 200,000 of high-quality ebooks that can be read on any device. Our platform is mobile-friendly, and a large part of our ebooks are in EPUB format. Use them without limitations. Anyone can access the same content at the same time, and there's no digital rights management, so you can print, download, save. And once you found the book, assess the impact of that book by clicking the book metrics link. So, thank you very much. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat or speak up.
Thank you everyone very much for joining today, and I wish you all a lovely evening. And you can find our contact details on Springer.com if you would like to know more information. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all.